Hey guys, so today's video is going to be about sugar. I don't want you to take from this that sugar is good for you, sugar is bad for you, but it is something that needs to be addressed. In America, people's diets are consumed of over 10% of sugar. So you should be having your diet consist of 10% or less of sugar, but in America, it's more than that. And that is going to lead to other health concerns, and we're all about being healthy. There's no definition of really health foods, but you eat certain foods that are considered, people would say healthy, would say clean, because they make you feel better. They provide you with a lot of nutrients, and when you eat them, you feel like your performance is better, your clarity is better, your skin's better. There's so many different reasons of why you eat certain foods, because they provide a lot of nutrition. Well, foods with a lot of sugar contain a lot of empty calories and are not going to have that same health benefits that you feel from eating those healthy foods. So from my experience, I was in my last off season, which was in the early end of 2015, early 2016 was my last year's off season. And my macros were increasing, I was loving it, but I was including too many sugary foods. And I had a lot of cravings. I was dealing with it, and I wanted to eat something sugary every single day, more than multiple meals. So I was subbing out my rice for some cereal or some ice cream, or I don't even know, whatever I was eating, like cinnamon bun, whatever. I was subbing out my whole foods for that, and I was developing more and more cravings. So even though I was like, oh, I'm in my off season, whatever. And I would go over my macros a lot just because I was developing more and more cravings. And I was like, I need to eat more and more because I'm not satisfied. And the sugar was just developing me to have those urges to want to keep eating. And I developed a really bad sweet tooth, and I couldn't break it. So until I actually went into dieting again, and then my sugar just got lower, and then I took this off season better. So I only have my nightly ice cream, protein ice cream. So I had that with a little bit of cereal. That's the only sugar I include that's actually sugary foods. So this has helped me a lot as far as the clarity of my skin, how I feel in the gym, how I feel day to day. I don't feel like I have sugar crashes, and there are benefits to not having a lot of sugar. So people that have a lot of sugar in their diet, they are very insulin resistant. And it's very important to keep your insulin levels stable, because if your insulin levels are very, very high, you're going to be more prone to weight gain. And if you're interested in losing weight, or if you're in a cut, or if you just want to maintain your weight, you don't want your insulin levels to be too high. That's going to mess up your metabolism, and you want to have a strong metabolism both on and off season. Or if you're cutting, bulking, doesn't matter if you're a competitor or not. Your insulin levels and your metabolism are important, so consuming too much sugar is going to mess with that. Also, you will be at a higher risk of higher blood pressure. And if your sugar levels are too high, and I haven't experienced this myself, but I know a few people who have, and I think that's something to definitely pay attention to, and make sure when you're tracking your macros, you're not including too much sugar. So if you have a lower blood pressure, it puts less strain on the heart and less strain towards getting heart disease, and everything plays a ripple effect on each other. So if you're eliminating the sugar, eliminating high blood pressure, and keeping a healthier heart. So after you eat something that's really sweet, maybe a donut, a piece of cake, whatever it is, you feel really good because your brain is releasing a neurotransmitter called dopamine. Well, when you're eating so many sugary foods, if you're doing that daily, then the brain's going to need to release more and more it takes more and more sugar to release that dopamine, so you'll need to eat more sugary foods in order to feel satisfied. So yes, the dopamine release when you eat that good food, but then the next time around, if you keep doing it and doing it, more sugar, more sugar, more sugar, it's going to take more sugar in order for you to feel good and feel satisfied from whatever you're eating. So that's a sign for your brain, it can't really distinguish whether how much dopamine to release and whether you're actually full or you're satisfied. So that's something to also pay attention to in making sure that you're not including too many sugary foods throughout the day. When you eat too much sugar, your skin can actually look dull, wrinkled, and this will prevent wrinkles. So if you're worried about your skin, definitely try to pay attention to how much you're taking in. It reduces acne and just keeps you clear, feel better. And like I said, healthy foods, the more healthy foods you're including, the better your skin will look. So that is also, if you're not eating all the sugary foods and you are going to be substituting with healthy foods, which is adding to the youthness in your skin. The spike in your insulin is going to draw fat towards your liver. So it's going to increase fat cells in your liver, and it can cause liver disease. So you definitely, again, want to pay attention to how much you're taking in, and you want to reduce the chance of getting liver disease, because liver disease is actually pretty common in America, and that is something you want to try to avoid. So again, back to insulin. Sugar is causing your insulin levels to rise, and more fat cells will be developed around the liver. So that will lead to a unhealthier liver, and you want to keep that pretty healthy. So again, we're maintaining every time I say like back to how much sugar, it's not eliminating sugar. There's sugar found naturally in healthy foods, everything. It's not eliminating, it's limiting. So just making sure that you know how much you're taking in and monitoring it. On my fitness pal, it says like don't go over 52 grams. I like to keep my sugar between like 35 and 52, just depending on the day, depending on the week. Sometimes it could be more if I were having like a treat meal that day, if I were to have a piece of cake. That's very rare. I do not do that daily, and I found that I am enjoying more of my whole foods. Like I make sure I eat my sweet potatoes, I make sure I eat my rice, my oats, whatever, and I feel better, and I'm taking this off season better as far as the food choices I have, and I feel like my performance is greater. I'm having less crashes. I don't have significant amount of cravings, and that's just something that I struggled with last year, and I wanted to just do it better this time around. I was sort of wanting to share my experience with you guys, and maybe if you struggle with your cravings or just maybe trying to eliminate what's in your pantry, that has really helped me too. So I don't purchase any foods where I know that I will go to the pantry and start wanting to snack on. Like there is nothing like high sugar in my house, just because I was loading up with like all these cookies and candy and whatever was in my pantry. I was loading up on that because I was like, I have all these macros, and I was just super excited. And again, I was forgetting about my whole foods. So please do not forget about your whole foods. They are super important for your health. Your health is important. We want to be better in the gym. We want to be better for ourselves. We want to look better, feel better, and your whole foods are going to do that for you. So do not forget about them. And I'm just going to reiterate the same thing over and over again. And I apologize for that, but this is my message I'm trying to get across. And hopefully you guys were able to learn something from this. If you enjoyed this video, please give this video a thumbs up. If you have any other questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'm happy to answer any of them. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.